In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay,
No, I know.
and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is okay? In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay,
No, I know.
and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is okay? In your thoughts on
Joke, no joke. We are live. How many times y'all think Jay-Z went to go visit Harvey Weinstein in jail? That's his friend. This is my friend. This is a labor of love for Jay. How many times you think Jay went to go visit him in jail? Right? Y'all see what Harvey locked up for, right? I bet he did him just like he did Puff. We not friends. You see the company these dudes keep? You see the company these dudes keep? And y'all act like y'all don't be believing these rumors, but everybody else goes to jail but him. You know? Okay. Okay, he's just squeaky clean, huh? Okay. Joke, no joke. We live and direct. Nigga ain't want to talk about Trump, huh? But he can snap on Kanye about wearing the red hat, huh? But he could get Desiree Perez to get a pardon from Trump, right? You see how that go? You see how that go? But he running around with Harvey Weinstein. Do y'all know what Harvey Weinstein is locked up for? Oh, okay. But y'all think Jay's so innocent, right? Okay. Okay. Time keep on slipping. Get down. Keep paying attention. You always gonna have these people out here making excuses. I bet y'all forgot about that, huh? Jay is my friend. This is a labor of love for Jay. Yeah, okay. What kind of love y'all niggas got going on? Glad love? The Glad MC, Jay Hizomo. You're going to learn. Y'all see. Y'all going to be devastated. Y'all jigaboos. You watch and see. Hold on. Can I turn on my Instagram? Can y'all give me a second? So, as y'all know, the breaking story today is Rashonda Landfill, the girl from the Kelly sex tape. She's out showing her face. I guess, I guess it's really about money. Because if it was about justice, that would have been done years ago, decades ago. But, I'm not here to judge her. Let her get her money. I'm going to get into that. Choke No Joke. I'm live on YouTube, Instagram. You know what it is. So, Rashonda, she's out showing her face. She just dropped a book. I'm sure that's why she's showing her face. I really don't know what to say about this, and I don't want to sound insensitive, but I really feel like this campaign she going on is probably a money grab, because she had the opportunity in 2002 to tell the truth. She had the opportunity in 2008 to tell the truth, but she didn't, because, R. Kelly was still taking care of her and her family, this, that, and the other. I do feel like some people in her family enable this relationship between them. R. Kelly is 1,010% wrong. He deserved what he got, for that situation. That's why he got 20 years for it, whether he was found innocent in 2008 and then they got him in 2020 and gave him 20 years for it. Yes, the devil do come back around. So it is what it is. So I'm not defending him. I'm just saying the fact that she's coming out now, I believe that that's all about money. Because it's not like she just coming out to tell her story. She's selling a product. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure for her to sell her product, she got to go on these different platforms and talk about it and show her face. Or we know today's media outlets, they ain't going to support her if she want to be Jane Doe or she want to hide. So for her to get the check, she's going to have to show her face. So she's doing interviews now. I'm going to run one of them or a clip of one of them. Still under fair use here. Choke No Joke, I'm live on YouTube. Come to the channel. Choke No Joke. All right. You'll see I'm live.
Birthday, you say, Robert told me the copies of one of the sex tapes of 14-year-old me were beginning to be sold on the streets of Chicago and across the country. Your reaction to that when you think about hearing those words from R. Kelly, that this tape is out there and you were 14 years old?
I was empty. I was very hollow inside. I was very confused. Didn't know what to expect. And I was embarrassed.
Why not tell the truth in 2002 or 2008 when there was finally a trial after 6 years?
That's one of my biggest regrets, not telling the truth. But again, when I have been trained and groomed since I was age 13, I started believing the lies that I was telling. It was very foggy and unclear on what I really felt versus what was right or what was wrong. And even in moments where I despised Robert, I still lied for him.
When I look back at that trial, this idea that people who were not part of the jury were able to see some of that video, and the jokes that came from the video, because we're talking about seeing a person at the time, not knowing who it is, for sure, being urinated on and talked about. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, do you look at even the justice system as not protecting you to some extent? I mean, thinking about that video being played before a gallery of everyday citizens.
I definitely think things could have been handled differently. I'm happy I wasn't there to witness everyone watching that. To the world imagery, I was not made to be a victim. I was a mockery. And that was very difficult to digest. It was very disheartening to know that my body was just being displayed and tossed around. And, when I look back on it, I wish things could have been done differently, but those are all of the things that I had to internalize.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have great, 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 great sympathy for her as a kid. I wonder how Dave Chappelle feel right now, hearing her saying that, people making a mockery out of it. Because I know y'all remember the skit from the Dave Chappelle show. He's definitely one of the people that made a lot of money, got a lot of laughs from that R. Kelly skit he did about, peeing on the girl. Yeah, that's Sparkle's niece. So speaking of Sparkle, shout out to Sparkle. In the parts of that interview, she talked about how Sparkle told her to go in there in the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap and rub his head, allegedly, and ask him to be her godfather. And Sparkle, in her defense, is saying that, yeah, she asked her to ask him to be her godfather, but she definitely was not grooming her. That wasn't her purpose, telling her to ask him to be her godfather. And she says that she do support her and she's proud of her for coming out and being able to speak and tell her story. But she definitely was not grooming her niece. But yeah, it's a tough thing to talk about because she was so young back then. And she is a victim of the circumstances. So I really don't want to have too much of an opinion about it because she was so young, and I feel like she could have been manipulated, by R. Kelly. She could have been manipulated by her parents, because they was getting bread or money allegedly. So I don't know. I just feel like the timing of it, which she's 40 today, when R. Kelly went to trial just a few years ago, I felt like she was old enough then to, come out and say all this, even though she did testify. And I feel like she was forced to testify, but she did. And now today, coming out, showing her face and speaking about it, I don't think it's more of a confidence thing or she's feeling stronger. I think it's what she got to do to sell the book, because I don't feel like she really wants to put her face out there, or she would have did that at the trial. She wouldn't have been Jane Doe at the trial. She would have been who she is today. But to each his own. I'm not going to judge her. If she want to come out now and write a book about it, I don't know. It's probably like 30 years later. Let her get her money. Let her get her coins. You know what I mean? What's going to be the context of the book is a totally different story. Me, I'm not interested in reading the book. After covering the trial in New York, covering the trial in Chicago, I think everything has been said that needs to be said for us to know R. Kelly's character. I definitely don't care to hear any more further details about their relationship and how it happened at this point in time. That man got life in jail. It's really, it's like case closed, chapter ends. What more is this book going to do for him? He's not getting out. He got 30 years in New York. When he get out of New York, he got to go to Chicago and do another 20 years, which is life. That's 50 years. Time he get out of New York, he'll probably be in his 70s, and to go to be transferred to Chicago and do another 20 years for what happened with her, he wouldn't get out until he's 90 something, maybe 100. So it is what it is, but I'm sure it's still hard for her to even face the world, you know, today, talking about this situation, because at one time she did protect R. Kelly, whether she was manipulated or not. You know what I'm saying? But keep in mind, her parents did help. Her parents did play a part. But let's move on to the next topic.